I am having a kind of check-in day today. There have been a lot of things that I've wanted to do that I have been trying to find the time for. And today, one of the things that I want to get done is kind of piece together some of the videos I've been taking over the last few weeks as we get ready for our matching with our baby. I think from what I can remember that in the videos I've taken over the last few weeks, I captured my reaction to being officially active through American Adoptions. So I thought I would take this impromptu video because I'm kind of surprised by my own reaction. I just got an email from Matt saying that we are officially active on American Adoptions. And I started like dancing and singing, and I went on my email, and sure enough, we got an email from our adoption specialist, and I am just over the moon. I am so excited. It kind of, I mean, it's obviously very different from when I found out I was pregnant, but there's an element that's like, oh my God, we're gonna be parents any day, and I mean, it might be a year, but I don't care. I am so freaking excited. I just was not expecting it to be like this delineation of, okay, it could happen any day. But that is how I feel, is like we are officially absolutely going to have a kid. And I was able to capture myself reacting to the first couple or the first video that the agency sent us on what it's going to look like when we are matched with a child, and like the steps to that placement journey. While watching the first video, which made me super excited, I love American Adoptions. They do such a great job of just informing you, and the people in the videos are so kind and warm, and I just love them. And I'm just gonna finish today by kind of showing what I have done so far to get ready and kind of what my plans are to help myself survive the waiting period. So American Adoptions has some wonderful resources and articles and all sorts of education tools. It was an article that I turned into a checklist for myself. Here's our baby, our diaper bag. We are waiting to buy formula, of course, until we see what baby is getting in the hospital, and that is one of the recommendations, is do wait to get formula, since most hospitals will discharge the baby with at least a day's supply, plus you want to keep it consistent if possible. But just in case, so we would like to get the formula that's already mixed in the bottles, but just in case, we do have bottles in here, depending on what the hospital is feeding baby. And then another thing on the list was, well, not hand sanitizer, but I wanted that anyway, especially important at this time. So pacifiers. Anyway, here's my baby Bjorn, which I finally figured out how to use. Took some practice. So I'm pretty excited. I figured out, there we go, at last. Woo. And then we have some burp cloths was recommended, and just some, hey pigs, are you exploring the bag? He's very excited about New Human. I added just a couple books because we want to start that bedtime routine right from the beginning. That's more for us than for baby, just to make it a routine right from the beginning so it's a habit we get used to. And a few diapers in here. We do want to mix with cloth diapers just to be semi-eco-friendly if it works out. We're pretty flexible, but of course we're bringing disposable diapers to the hospital. So we have booties, and then clothes in here, and then some blankets. So real light, that's it. That's all we're bringing for babies, and then booties and a couple socks. And I already have our toiletries too for Matt and I, so we can just be ready to go. Don't have to run to Target or anything. You will notice that I did put together the baby's room a little bit. There are several things I know we'll be adding to the room as we figure out what we need to make life work best for us, and I'm sure there are things we have that we'll realize that was unnecessary, but this is what we have so far. We really didn't want to buy any more furniture, So we just pretty much used what we have. The main feature, the main decor are books. This is where we're gonna sit to feed baby at night, which you can see is not comfortable at all. So there's been a lot of talk about potentially getting one of those rocking chairs. I want to resist that as long as possible because I hate having an abundance of stuff. And I already feel like the house is too crowded. This is something Matt actually put together. He actually made this for us. It was a tall dresser that he basically cut in half and made part into a little desk and part into what we thought would be a changing table, but it's just going to end up being used as a dresser. So not much in here so far, just kind of preparing to put things in because I'm not buying clothes. We don't even know the sex of our baby, so you know, it's just basic things that were on the hospital list, just a couple extra sheets for the crib and things like that. This closet will eventually be used for baby things, but look at all the stuff we need to figure out. Some of that's for work, so that will leave once I'm able to get in my new office for my new job. Then we have the crib with some storage underneath, and then here's my desk, which we're using as a changing table. I'm just waiting for the liners that I ordered. For some reason, they're still not here. And then this just has extra diapers in it. So many diapers. And then here are the cloth diapers down here. So real simple. It makes me happy when I come in here. And Matt seems to like it too. So one of the things that I was thinking about right before we received information that we had been activated in the American Adoption System is about how we are going to manage the weight. And for Matt, he has a highly effective strategy. He is very good at compartmentalizing feelings and thoughts. Just whatever is demanding the most attention at present, that's what he gives his whole attention to. He is able to then take those other big things and just store them in the back of his mind. And so for those of you who are good at compartmentalizing, that is how he is getting through this adoption. That is not a skill that I possess. And so while he is focusing on one thing at a time, my strategy is very much about, okay, let's see all the things I have on the table and then figuring out how to weave them all together and have them take turns in terms of what I pay attention to. So as I've thought about how am I going to actively prepare for being placed with our baby and meeting our baby and dealing with that waiting, and making it a joyful time, almost like a pregnancy of sorts, you know, a different kind of pregnancy. One of the ways that I do that is by gathering information and perspectives, not in an intense kind of like studying for a PhD kind of way, but in just an exploratory, curious kind of way where I'm watching and observing and taking in different parenting perspectives. And so I have a list of books on Goodreads. It's just been really fun to just explore and think about parenting in this way. So that's one way that I am filling my weight and using my wait time to get ready, and I get to grow my baby and my parenting. If anything, my goal is to get more open, not more rigid and narrow, because I think that's what parenting does. Is the second most parents experience their kid, it's like, oh, so everything I thought I was gonna do, a lot of that goes out the window. So I'm trying to just stay open and flexible. Hey, Piggy. And then I'm looking for ways to express as well. I had this art teacher one time who told me too much impression without enough expression leads to depression. Anyway, it stuck with me always since he said that. And so I always try and have a balance of the information that's coming into my life and how I'm creatively expressing and putting out. Also, as a learner, I very much believe in if you just have information coming in and you're not able to actively apply it as you're going, you lose so much of that, because if you're not able to actively engage, it's not as valuable. So one of the things I did was create that book, which I already posted. But then the other thing I've been doing is I've been playing around with writing letters to my future mom self. And right now I'm kind of playing with writing one letter for every like chunk of development. So for example, I wrote a letter for age birth to 3 months. And so I just plan, you know, when our baby is born to read that letter to myself, and there's some encouragement, and it's just a reminder, like, these were the things that were important to you. These were the things you said you wanted to do. And it's okay if you don't want to do those now, but look at this and see if maybe there's something that is important to you that you want to still do. And if nothing else, I can just look back and laugh at my former self and what I thought I would be able to do. But it's just kind of a fun thing. So then I have another letter for 4 months to 7 months. And then once I get to a year, or 2 years or whatever it is, then it will just be one for every year up to 18 years. And I would love to then take these letters to myself and put them in a book. And maybe for our baby's 18th birthday, or one of my friends said when they have when our baby has a baby, giving those letters to them, like, hey, these are the letters I wrote to myself as a new mom as I was getting ready for you and growing you in my heart, you know. And I also thought about, these are typed, but I was thinking about, you know, if I print them out ahead of time and I have the book ahead of time, I can actually write notes as our baby develops, like, oh, this is our favorite food, or kind of like a baby book. I've never liked the pre-formatted baby books, because I just feel like that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself as a new mom. Like, you're trying to get everything ready and you're supposed to be cataloging all this information in a baby book. So if it's just kind of free form, like I can write what I want, when I want, if I want, that feels like a lot less stress. And if there are months or chunks of time where I don't write anything, it doesn't matter. The big thing is I'm reading those notes of encouragement to myself, and reminders of, hey, you said this was something you wanted to do, or remember this, because in your exhaustion you might forget that this is something that can help you. And there are things like, you know, if you're having a hard time with this, go talk to this friend, or it's just like a lifeline for myself. So that's kind of how I'm waiting. And the other thing I thought I would do is, I like the idea of keeping track, if not on a daily, because that might get tedious, or discouraging, on a weekly basis. Like, you've waited 1 week for your baby, 3 months for your, you know, however long it is, and maybe giving myself like a little reward or encouragement of some kind, like as I wait. Like, you've made it another week waiting for your baby, you know, buy yourself a balloon, or get yourself a flower, or have an extra piece of cake. Buy yourself a Reese's. So that I'm marking that time and celebrating. When you go to read about people who are waiting to adopt, there's a lot of sadness and struggle, because it is hard, and I don't in any way mean to diminish that. I have done a lot of unpleasant waiting to meet our babies, but we are just so excited and ready, and I just want even the waiting to be joyful. And there's no wrong way to wait. It just, our waiting this time looks a lot happier than it has in the past, and I'm grateful for that. So anyway, thank you for watching. Until next time.